Today we're gonna make our own extended DJ edit, which will help us mix radio tracks that aren't too DJ friendly. So we're gonna turn something like this to this. In under 5 minutes. So we're going to use Serato Studio to make our edited tracks, and you can get a 2-month free trial on it by checking my links down below. And before we begin, here's a quick outline of the video. Okay, enough talking, let's edit. First thing you want to do is open Serato Studio. Then, when this menu appears, since we want to make a DJ edit, simply click New DJ Edit. Second thing you want to do is drag the audio file you want to edit. You can either search it up through your Serato DJ library menu over here, or drag it from another menu like this. So once you drag your song, 3 things happen. First, your song view is occupied, and this is where you're going to edit. I usually delete this so we can start clean. Second, a cue point is made on the first detected beat. You can think of this section here as our cue point section, where we can customize and cue specific sections of a song, like this for example. Anyway, let's give our first default cue point a listen. Sounds a bit too fast, right? That's because of the third thing. The track is automatically adjusted to fit the software's BPM, which is defaultly at 120. Let's adjust this, so we can see the innate BPM of our song over here. So it's 110. So let's double click this section over here and input 110 BPM. And now let's give that a listen. Nice! So our track now sounds normal. So with this quick familiarization out of the way, let's move on to actually editing this track. Now the first thing to do is figure out where we can find some blank beats in this track where no vocals occur. So let's give this track a listen. This section towards the end sounds good. So let's simply copy paste that outro section and turn that section into our extended DJ intro. So let's make our second cue point over here. To make sure our cue point hits the beat, we can use our mouse to zoom in. Once we target where the beat starts, simply click the second cue point section. Next thing to do is figure out where we want our song to really start. So let's trigger cue point 1 again. So the vocals of the song come in right after this drum intro. So let's make our third cue point here. Now we have all the necessary parts to make our extended DJ intro. So let's drag cue point 2, which is our section that just contains beats, to the start of the song view. Since I only want a 32-beat intro, I'll have to figure out where I want the intro to stop and the song to really begin. So let's give our song view or timeline a listen. So this is the section where I want the song to begin. So let's drag our third cue point to this section over here. And now let's give this song view or timeline a listen. And our extended DJ intro is done. To export the file, simply click File, then click Export Song, then click Export. And you're done. Now, since I've accomplished the objective of the clickbait title, let's move on to some concerns you guys may have, such as, what happens if your song starts with vocals or an instrumental? And what happens if you can't find a song that contains blank beats of their own? Well, it's no problem at all. Let's tackle the first concern. So here's a song that starts with an acapella, and the objective of this part in this tutorial is to make an intro for it as well as an outro. So like the previous tutorial, all we have to do is find a section with some blank beats. So let's do that first. Always that one. Next thing to do is drag this section, which is cue point 2, to the song view section, replacing what's already there. Then we'll reduce this song till we have a 32 beat intro. So we'll right click this section over here and select Split into New Clip. Then we'll delete that clip and that cue point. Now our 32 beat intro is ready. But since this is an acapella in type of song, we'll have to do a few things differently. So let's drag again the same song to the song view or timeline section into the add audio section. Now we have a duplicate of our first song. Now in this song, let's cue point the start of the song we want to use. Always that. But since Serato Studio made its default cue point at what it thinks the first beat is, then we're pretty much good to go. Let's use the default as our first cue point and let's place it at the end of the 32 beat intro of our first song and delete any unnecessary sections. And now let's give this edit a listen. Always that one. Sounds a bit too abrupt, right? Now here's the part where we get fancy. Let's go back to our first song and make a third cue point at this section here specifically. So let's split it. So right click this section and select Split into New Clip. This is the beat section right before the intro ends. And now we're going to add an effect on it to make this transition point sound good. So let's select Effects. Then select the third cue point. And now let's input a dub echo effect at the 1 o'clock position. And now let's give this track a listen. That will always have your heart. So you definitely hear the tail effect of that echo, making this edit sound a bit smoother. But if you want to take this edit to another level, we can also add an impact sound sample to make this track sound even better. So find your sample, drag it to the song view section, adjust its volume, and adjust its placement in the song view section. Always that one person that will always have your heart. And now to complete this edit, let's also add an outro section for this song. So simply drag the first song's second cue point to the end and adjust accordingly. And now you have a completely edited song with an intro and outro. All you gotta do now is export it and you're done. So now let's move on to scenario number 2, where you have a song with no blank beats to edit at all. So here we have a track that starts with an acapella in section. Let's give this song a listen. So what do we do? Well, the easiest and fastest thing to do is to find a song that is around the same key and BPM range as the song you want to edit, and to simply copy that song's intro and paste that song's intro as your own intro for the song you want to edit. Let me demonstrate that to you right now. So we're going to load another song. Now, Serato will automatically sync and key sync the next track you bring in. So this is perfect when you're interconnecting two songs together. So what we're going to do now is use this song's piano intro as our own intro. So let's give this a listen. So let's select this song's piano intro. And since the default option of Serato Studio is to make a cue point on the first beat, we're basically done. The defaultly made cue point is fine. Next thing to do is to cut this song till we only have what we need, which is the piano intro. And to do that, you can either split the clip and delete the cue point it generates, or simply go to the end of the song and click and drag that cursor there all the way where you want it to be. Next thing to do now is to select our first song and make a second cue point. This will be the start of the song we want our song to start from. So that will be this.
Alright, honey came in and honey came.
But I think the song will start too abruptly like that, so instead, let's make a third cue point and select this section instead.
Alright.
So right before the song really starts, which is at cue point 3, we'll first hear alright. So let's put the first song and second song together. Simply drag the first song's cue point 3 to the song view. So align the start of the first song with the start of the second song.
Alright.
And adjust both clips lengths to make sure what you want to be heard is heard. And now you're basically done. Let's give this edit a listen.
Alright, honey came in and she got me red-handed, creepy with the girl next door.
Now here's how this edit would sound like if you just used cue point 2.
Honey came in and she.
It's much better with cue point 3, so feel free to experiment around with your edits. Hey, you made it to the end of the video, and if you guys want to see more content like my secret exclusive tutorials, please consider joining my membership program. Links are down below. Or just buying any of my DJ courses, that'll help a lot too. And anyway, with that said, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.